Got it.
Okay, so today I had to look it up. I thought it was the 79th. It's the 80th episode of Wayne's World and Kelly. And we have a special guest. It's Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day, Dawn
Happy
Miller, the
Valentine's
paving
Day.
lady.
Yep.
I
Happy
think we've
Valentine's
invited
Day.
her on the show 79 times. So 80's a
Ye-
charm, baby.
Yes, we have.
A little statistic, I had them run it, the technical team. They said your name is the most mentioned name on our show other than Wayne or Kelly. So how
Oh,
about
there's
that?
no question. Yep, it is.
We're always giving you a shout out because
I don't
everybody
know. I'm gonna have to go watch those 79 episodes.
you
Oh,
have
you're
it.
hurting me. You're
Haven't
hurting
yet?
us.
No, just maybe like
Cut!
70.
Well, Dawn Miller is the paving lady. And well, here, I'm gonna let you talk a few minutes and then I'll pontificate, but go ahead. Dawn, please tell us, what's it like being Dawn Miller?
Well, once upon a time in 1972. That's where it all started.
I
don't
remember when you
know.
turned 50 and you could knock me over with a feather. I'm like, there's no way that this girl is 50 years old. So
Plus
obviously you
two.
take care of yourself. Oh, now I'm talking about when you turn 50.
Oh, right.
I'm sorry, this isn't, only real time. We actually go back a little bit.
Let's play with
Oh.
those numbers.
And Dawn's beautiful, but she's a lot more than that. But I'll tell you what, the seed doesn't fall too far from the tree. Because when I met her mother the first time, my God, she's one of the most gorgeous women I've ever seen on the planet. And she's
Thank
sweet as
you,
can be.
Kelly.
But she's wearing high heels. She's got this beautiful dress. And I'm sitting there going, if Dawn's 50, is this her stepmom? I mean, I'm telling you. And she's so
He's doing the
sweet.
math in his head.
Yeah, I'm like, I think that's, she's
Kelly.
just gorgeous. And it's, and it's not surprising because, because who you are. And it's not all about looks. Dawn's a very brilliant and wonderful human being, but she does have, her mother's probably one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in my life. So there you go.
Thank you.
And what generation are you of Florida?
I'm third generation from South Florida.
Very
So my father was born in Miami. Both of my parents were born in Miami. My grandfather was born in Miami, and I was born in Miami. So,
And where are your great-grandparents from?
that's a good question. I think it was a mix. I think it was like Mississippi, but I mean, generational, it was Irish, German, Puerto Rican.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I didn't mean to get too deep on that.
Kind of a
It
much.
wasn't a test. So most people think you are the paving lady, and I agree, because you are the face and voice of the paving lady, no matter what your owner thinks. But tell us a little secret. It's sort of like Victoria's Secret. The paving lady is owned by a
man, and his name is Mauro Camuzzi.
Yeah, it is.
And the reason for that is because a lady by the name of Janice Potter started it in 1985. And Mauro actually did some subcontracting work for her over the years. So when she decided to retire, he decided to buy it and not change the name because it was already branded and it's catchy. So yes, so the paving lady is owned by a man.
There you go. I got breaking news. Dun, 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 dun.
So when Don, when I first met you, when I moved to Florida, I think I met you prior to that. I've been in Florida for about a year and a half now. You were one of the most welcoming people that I was able to to talk with and become kind of instant friends with. Tell us a little bit about prior to when you came to the paving lady, about what you did and kind of how you ended up where you're at right now.
I've been in the industry for 27 years. So prior to the paving lady, I worked for a manufacturing company, which manufactures their product, which is asphalt. And that was Ranger Construction. and learned a lot about the asphalt industry because prior to that, I come from a third generational concrete contractor. My grandfather, my father, and myself had a concrete company. So that's basically how my life has unfolded over the years. But
And so part of being in the industry, I know that an organization that you're very active in, along with Kelly and some other folks that we know, is Women Empowering Women. I think that is absolutely fantastic, as far as, being representative, to everyone in our industry. What has that done for you, both as on a personal level and as a businesswoman, and the exposure and the message that you get out to everybody is basically what?
Well, as I mentioned, after 27 years and it being in a male-dominated industry, to have the support of women is everything. And it makes you, it makes you thrive, I think. It's always been kind of where there was very few women in the workplace that could identify with what it is that you were dealing with, or even having a voice for that matter. So being able to be in an organization like Women Empowering Women and seeing the strength in these women that have actually gone through the same things, and a lot of different things as well, not only professionally, but personally, and be able to have that camaraderie and those discussions and those talks and laugh, laughter beyond everything. So whether it's supporting them in their professional careers, I think that supporting them personally is just as important, because it comes full circle. And it really it doesn't exclude anybody in any industry, and I think that goes a long way. And
Well,
it doesn't even exclude men, for that matter, because
yeah, that's one of the
a lot
things.
of other men are.
Yeah, that's one of the things I like with with Kelly's involvement, Ben Friedman and other guys. I Here's a good question for you. Do you think we finally reached the point in America where women are on an absolutely equal plane with men? Because go ahead,
No,
expand on that a little bit.
As much as I'd like to say we are,
Okay.
I come from an old school. I still, there are people that are just beginning to retire that, that I started in the industry while they were, up and coming. So, it's a mindset, and it's giving women the opportunity. And I think we've come a long way. Is basically are we there yet? No, along with everything else in the world.
Yeah. Good
Well,
answer.
and men, we think that women run the world, so it's all perspective. One of the great
perspective.
One of the great stories Michelle told me
Maybe in the
earlier,
household, but maybe not in the workplace.
I think there's arguments for both sides, but fortunately, I think with Women Empowering Women, there is no argument. Michelle shared with me a long time ago that early on in the organization, a woman came in and she was, I guess you'd probably term her a man hater, a little angry about men. And Michelle kind of stopped her dead in her tracks and says, "This is not a man-hating organization. This is empowering women, which empowers everybody." And I think the outreach that y'all do, you're now, it's tough in life when you go from the mentee to the mentor. But you and Michelle and several of the women are help molding the next generation and giving them that support. And it's a beautiful thing to witness. In the last several years, I've watched several women in South Florida blossom as well as men. And you see them make mistakes and grow from it. But it's to see that there's an organization that really is there, is like what y'all call a sisterhood, to really empower them and not rip them apart and bring them down, is a beautiful thing.
No. And again, it's a mindset, and it's just having those conversations. You don't know what they've been surrounded with or exposed to. I mean, so it's being comfortable enough to have those conversations.
Yeah, I was definitely the beneficiary of my mother was the strongest woman that I've ever been around, ever you know, she's, you know, strong German, the work ethic. She had her own career. She was always home for my sister and I when we got home from school. But like the takeaway that I got from her as a mother was like, when there's work to do, we're going to do the work. And you know, she automatically put herself like literally front and center out there, both in, you know, in the workforce, in the family, and right next to my dad. And my dad recognized, you know, the strength and beauty in having, you know, a very strong wife. And so for me to make that, you know, there wasn't even a transition for me. I mean, when I like all throughout my life, I like to think for the most part, you know, we're all on a level plane. Now I know that's you know, that's a dream world. Okay, every day every one of us has to go out and we have to prove ourselves.
Right.
Okay, but I can look you, you know, in the camera and tell you that I at no time have I ever looked at, you know, like a woman in a work counterpart or anything, like, you know, they are not my equal, and it's my parents to thank for that. 100%.
Absolutely. And again, like I said, it's where you come from, it's what you've been taught, and you know, you can only go from there, and hopefully be open enough to learn. And you know,
Yep.
either you are or you're not.
Yep, a good point. Either you are or you're not.
Right.
But your organization, for maybe the people that aren't there yet,
Right.
you know, I would say, hey, take a look at what they've done. Take a look at what they built. Go up and talk to them and learn from them. Don't mansplain. You know, that's another, that phrase was kind of big.
I've heard it, but what does that mean?
It's like, so like if
Here, please man explain it.
yeah, please mansplain what mansplain is. So like we'll use Kelly as an example.
It involves a foot and a mouth normally.
If you're talking to another male, if you're talking to me about, let's just say, a business issue, okay, a lot of men would have to come up and further explain it, thinking you don't understand that.
Oh yes,
the first go round, which is, and I see that more often than I'd like to, and I'm sure you've experienced it.
I have experienced it more than I can even
I bet you have.
Put it that way. Where I've been cut off.
Cut
when
off.
I'm in the middle of explaining something to somebody else in front of a group of people, and it's just and could have done a better job explaining it. But you know, and that's when I just take them aside at a later time and say, you know, and address it. And for sure. I mean, you can't just let things like that, because they're not aware. I mean, it's with anything.
Painfully, they're not aware.
Painfully.
No, you can't.
Painfully.
And some guys out mansplaining, you know, good luck.
It's happened one too many times. So that's why I'm like, well, no, that's not.
Right. Well, you're not afraid to speak your mind, which is something that I find attractive in any person is you are not afraid to literally put that person on the spot and in a professional manner.
A time and a
place. Yes. Right. But you're going to say your truth and say, we're on an equal playing field here, and I won't accept anything different.
And nor should you. Nor should anybody.
No, nor should anybody.
Yep. I mean, if it happened to you, you would do the same thing. You would address it, because it's 100%. Not a comfortable situation. I don't care whether you're a man or a woman. So thanks for mansplaining that.
In full disclosure, a lot of time off air, I have to explain all kinds of things to Wayne. So
yeah, he does, but I'm not a woman, so you're not mansplaining to me. You're mansplaining to mansplain to a man.
Well, I'm Kelly splaining, so there's a, you know, I love it when people try to defend. Oh no, your name is both a guy's name or a girl's name. I'm like, no, it's not.
Dude, it is. I've always told you this, dude. I don't get this thing with you. You know, since we're worldwide right now and it's unedited, I don't get when you bring that up, dude. But whatever, man.
And he does it a lot.
He does it a lot, to the point where I find it pretty irritating.
Listen, I think I even mentioned a couple of weeks ago where a guy says, "Oh, I was expecting some cute little blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl," and there you are. As a board member that we're doing business with. And also on my feed on Facebook today, it came up, and it was 5 years ago, me living here, and a guy tells me that at an event that he thought I was going to be a girl. So I actually showed the video. I mean, I made a video of him. I go, just say what you just said again. And I started popping up today on my feed. Maybe I will if I can find it again. So no, it's a real thing, and I'm okay with it. I think it's funny. I didn't think it was funny when I was little, but
Mm.
you know.
But you're over it? I don't think so.
You know what I just realized? Dawn is known as early to bed, early to rise, and her name's Dawn. It just clicked just now. You want me to explain that to you, Wayne?
No, but I would like Dawn to explain. I know that you and I have had conversations, Dawn, regarding the mind-body connection and the fitness portion of your life. I think it's something that you should definitely be proud of and explain to everybody how that works for you.
Well, I've tried to explain it to a lot of people, and they're like, you're crazy. There's no reason for you to be getting up at the hour that you get up or going to bed, but it works for me. I've had people suggest changing it, but I said, why am I going to change something that works for me? I'm not changing for you. So
Nobody reaches out to Dawn after 7 p.m. That's, if anybody knows or they know, wait till, 4 the next morning to reach.
And it's not even that I'm asleep by 7. It's my electronics go off at 7. I don't need to be tied to my phone until I close my eyes, or, it's just shutting everything down, recharging. I wake up at 2:30 in the morning, usually. I mean, weekends I'll sleep in until about 3:30. So, and try to get to the gym by 4:30. So,
Okay.
and in bed, lights out, 8 o'clock, 8:30 the latest.
So are you talking about a pretty regimented fitness routine? I mean, I'm a fitness addict too. I'm 4:30 a.m. guy also. It definitely sets the tone for your day, correct? Is that probably why you started out at that hour?
Yes. And
Okay.
if I don't, I feel like my schedule has been off.
Yep. Right.
I feel like I'm running late. I mean, I'm very disciplined in, the time that I spend at the gym, the time that I get ready for work, and I'm ready to, start my day at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's been a big challenge for me. This is my second week on the road, and hotel workouts don't really cut it. It's okay for the weights and a treadmill, I guess, but getting off the routine when I travel is the hardest thing for me by far.
It is.
By far. And the routine goes right out the window. You can fit your workouts in, but then you got the nutritional component. And if you're out with clients, you're at dinner and lunches and visiting with them or at trade shows.
I know. And you do it far more than I do. And I'll go away about once a month, and that's enough at 3-4 days at a time. And it really messes. I don't feel good about the food that I'm eating. I don't care if you try to eat healthy or not when you're out. It's not about having a cocktail, but it's the food itself, because you prepare your meals, you know what you like. And to try to figure it out when you're on the road is not an easy task. I have not mastered that one at all.
Nope. I haven't either, and I've been traveling nationally for my whole 22-year career, and I've never been able to figure that out. So I guess what I do is, kind of
retire,
right? Kind of present, be in the moment, and then understand that when you get back home, like I'm flying back at the end of the week, and then I'm going to be able to get back in my routine for a week, until the next traveling starts again. So, to your point, it's something that you can try really hard, but regimented people like you and I, when that routine is broken, it takes a lot of mental kind of wherewithal to kind of get back on the rails, right?
It is. Well, and I'm sure for you, as soon as you get back on, you're back off. You're turning right back around. It's,
right.
Like I said, for 3 or 4 days for me to even get back, it's the food more than it is the exercise.
Absolutely.
And the rest.
The sleep, I was just going to say that.
I mean, I've got to have
bed and,
right. Bad pillows, just all of the above. Right. And like I woke up at 3:30 this morning. Donna already had me by an hour. She woke up at 2:30.
She's already had her second cup of coffee.
Right. And so again, in a full day and all that, what that entails and whatever, but I'm fortunate. I do enjoy the travel portion of my life, but
you don't look like you're struggling, Wayne, so.
Well, like
I mean, I don't
Kelly and
know how bad you're trying to make us feel, but.
no, well, Kelly and I always talk about this, so this will be good to get your input. So Kelly and I strongly believe that sales is a performance, right? And right now, this is a performance
It is.
that all three of us are on right now. And until the day ends, when we're in front of customers, we engage, we listen intently, we try to focus on their problems and help them out. When I tell people it's a performance, they think, well, you're like slick salesperson. Like, no, you don't know me, because that's not who I am. It's the listening part and always
Absorbing.
being absorbing. Good way to put it.
And
Excellent way to
connecting.
put it.
And
Connecting.
hence,
Yep.
yeah, and hence the recharging because you're
Right.
taking a lot in. So, I don't know that people, I'm definitely a, take care of your mind and body and get your rest. Some people can burn the candle at both ends. I'm not one of
I
them.
can't. No.
Touche to them. I mean, or kudos to them if they can, but I definitely, and I prefer this way of it. I don't, there's nothing good that happens after 9 p.m.
I
as
thought
far
you said after
as I'm
7:30.
Oh, that's great.
Pastor Barry White said that years ago at Park Valley Church in Haymarket, Virginia. He says, nothing good happens after 9 o'clock.
Really?
I'm like, and then his wife stood up and said, we conceived our 4 kids. No, he didn't say that. He didn't say that. I said, sometimes I forget it's not just us talking, but most, I thought it was a great thing to be said, because I know when a lot of times if I'm at a business event and people want to go after hours, which, after 8 o'clock or whatever it is, I run home. I'm like,
Yep,
no,
I'm out.
such a bad idea.
I can't say that I've never done it, been there, done it, don't want to do it.
And it doesn't end up well. I mean,
Again, anything
Yeah.
after 9 p.m. nothing good is happening.
Yeah, I was
I
at
don't
a
like the way
national.
that I feel. I don't like the way that I feel the next day.
Yeah,
feel
I was.
like I've been gypped.
I was at a
Right.
national conference in Orlando a couple weeks ago, and some of the nights went into extra innings, not extra innings like it was when I was even like in my 30s or 40s, but it was encroaching on way past my bedtime. And
What time is your bedtime, Wayne?
It's about 10 o'clock.
How
Okay.
about you, Kelly?
I think he's sleeping right now.
That is not true. No, I'm late to sleep and early to rise. Not early to rise like you. I don't get up till 5:45 in the morning, so I'm like the late guy in the group here. But I usually I won't go to bed until 11 or 12. Or go to sleep.
Yeah, I know the tossing and turning part of it too, right? So really, like, for me,
I
it
don't toss
takes
and
me.
turn. I sleep when I go to bed. Either I'm reading or watching Bravo, because I have to keep up
Okay.
with current events. And but no, I'm the youngest of 9. You could put a train tracks next
I
to my
wish I
bed,
could say
and I'm
that.
going to sleep. And
I
I've
wish.
always been a sound sleeper.
Well, you wish you could say you were the youngest of 9, Dawn?
Oh, no. I wish I could sleep with a train running by, because a pin can drop and I'm up. I mean, I
Yep.
have a fan, I have soundproof walls I've had to insulate because I live in a townhome. I've had to extra insulate so I don't hear my neighbors.
Right.
Earplugs.
Okay.
Were you the firstborn? Is your brother older or younger than you?
Younger, or he's older.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
Because my mom used to say, like with the first baby, everything you keep quiet. Second one, you're trying to keep things quiet. She says by the third one, she's like, I'm running the vacuum when they're napping, whatever. So I'm number
Right.
9. So, hence the train. I wake up,
wish.
I roll over, I go back to sleep. And I hear noises. I'm 2 blocks from the ocean, and there's a lot of socializing sometimes going on outside my windows, and I just don't care.
Wow.
I'm a sound sleeper.
No. Wayne, you said that you toss and turn?
Yeah, I do. Just trying to unwind with a lot of things going on, especially with this right here,
Ooh.
Terminator Clip. When I
New
get,
hat you got there, Wayne.
I
yeah, dude,
know.
yeah, it's pretty cool. So a lot of having to unwind, thoughts. I do some meditation prior going to bed to try and calm down and put the mind in a good meditative sleep state. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Depending on what time you eat last too. I mean, the whole
Well, I
digesting.
try. The intermittent fasting is pretty cool. So I try and not eat after 4 p.m.
Same.
But again, when you're traveling, try and do that. Hey, what time do you want to go out to dinner tonight? Well, let's meet at 3, so I can,
Right.
that's not going to happen. 6, 7 o'clock, right?
That's what I do. Let's have a big lunch.
Let's have a big lunch, right? Because intermittent fasting, I believe, is one of the best underrated hacks to readjust your body and have the metabolism go on a consistent rate. There's a lot of people talking about it right now, but I encourage everybody to implement that because that's a game changer. I think so, right? Do you do the same then?
I do. I eat a bigger lunch and I might have a small snack later
Small
in the
snack,
day.
right? Yep.
Let me
but I
mansplain
generally
this
don't eat
intermittent
meat.
fasting. That means you don't eat between meals. Mansplaining.
No, not really.
I know it isn't. I was being funny, people. Come on.
Well, then say something funny.
I
I had walnuts
Kidding you,
for
bro.
dinner last night.
oh.
I have a nice vegetable and a piece of like a steak or something for lunch, and I have walnuts for dinner, or I might have a Rockin Wellness shake for dinner, and I always have it for breakfast. And that's a woman-owned company. Just throwing that out there.
Right.
A wonderful woman, Allison.
Didn't you have her on? Did you have
Yeah,
her
we
on?
We
did.
did.
I thought
She's
so.
an absolute doll, and she lost her husband. He actually developed the product. She carries the company now for the last several years, but and she's awesome. But I thought we'd throw out a good woman out there. Angela Reed ran the White House for several years under the Obama administration. An amazing human being. There's a lot of amazing women. I could probably tell you more women that I'm impressed by than men. Although I do have some great male friends and inspirations, but
yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. The female guests that we have had on, like the owner of Rockin Wellness,
Right.
Shalita, who is an actress and a stunt woman. I mean, you listen to their stories,
Susan.
and yes.
Susan, how about Nuchelle? I mean, the one I
Of course.
I started a live recently. I was at an event that she had me doing Superman, and so I told people, I said, "You do realize she's twins? That's not one person. That's 2 identical women that are running around doing that." And I'm like, "Oh, really?" I'm like, "No."
That's what I said at our lunch the other day. She's explaining what she does, and I told the rest of the folks there, I'm like, yeah, there's 10 of her because I don't know how she is everywhere that she is.
No, I don't either. I mean, and you want to talk about, again, just like a credit not only to our industry, to the state of Florida, but to the United States. I mean,
as a whole.
wow. Just
spiritually, everything.
Everything, man. If I could be a quarter of her, I'd consider my life being very well lived.
A friend to all.
Yeah.
Yes.
Brilliant
and thoughtful and generous, and I mean, just always.
But she gives multitasking a whole new meaning.
She needs to bottle that.
Oh,
right.
But and we're all blessed to know her. I mean, the day I met her was one of the best days I've had in Florida.
Yeah, dude.
Another one of the best days was meeting her husband, because I was a little in fear for my life, and he's a lot bigger than me too. Fortunately, gave me a big hug, called me brother. I'm like,
Oliver.
I talked to her after 7 o'clock several times. Oh boy. So anyway.
Yeah.
She knows to get me early in the morning. Like, she's the first one. If she knows she needs to reach out, or she's reaching out just to say good morning, she always sends me the sunrise.
Yeah. Yep.
She's an early riser too.
Good all around energy. A lot of love for you today, Nichelle. I know you're going to be listening to
Yeah,
this
right
later.
out
So
there for you, sister.
Every
Yep.
day for her is Valentine's Day. Because
Yep.
she is the meaning of
I
love.
can't wait to see her outfits.
yeah,
I've never seen her wear the same thing twice.
No,
Yeah. She always goes, "Oh, you're wearing that shirt again?"
big hearts for Nichelle.
Yeah. Our favorite Valentine.
right there.
Oh my golly. So Wayne has a hard stop.
Okay, Wayne.
So, you know,
I gotta.
nobody else has
I
anything to
gotta
do with
jump.
Wayne does.
Sorry about that, but you know, Dawn,
Where are
thank you. Minneapolis.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you guys.
Thank it's
you
always
for
good to see you.
having me.
I will be seeing you on the front lines at probably the next show coming
We
up or
missed you
whatever.
yesterday.
Yeah, no, I know. It's like there's only one me.
I know.
I can't be everywhere. But again, I want to tell you how much I appreciate you and thank you for your time.
Thank
You
you.
miss
All right.
anybody else
Have a great
yesterday at the
day.
show?
We'll see you soon.
Anybody else? Did you miss anybody else at the show yesterday? Or just Wayne?
Well, I saw you the day before and I knew you weren't going to be there.
I'm just trying to play the jealous little brother. But it
Whack,
doesn't-
whack.
So, but no, it's great for all the people who've heard about Don Miller that didn't know where they finally got to meet her, and now they're gonna go, "Oh, now we get it. She is amazing." So,
Oh,
thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
I want everybody to have a wonderful day. Follow Dawn Miller. What's your middle initial?
M.
I thought it was
M for Marie.
Dawn M. Miller
Marie.
on LinkedIn.
Marie.
I always thought that was fun. And of course, hopefully you got to be following Wayne and I already. So
Of course.
everybody have an incredible day. Wayne, be careful up there and get back home.
Happy
And Dawn,
Valentine's
All
Day, everybody.
half your days
Happy
over.
Valentine's Day. All right. Adios.
Ciao.
Ciao.